can stop that. Wait.
Wow.
But you can stop that. But you can stop that because y'all are we are all just as Indian as we can be.
That's every one of them. We got all of us got some of it in.
We got it all mixed in because I am Luke.
I am Martha.
I am Patricia.
One more time. Start it over.
I am Luke.
I am Martha.
I am Patricia.
And we are the grandchildren of
Mary Liza McLeod.
Should we do it again?
That was actually pretty dang on good.
Okay,
This
so let's try
time,
it again.
this time, look at the camera when you do it.
Okay, gotcha.
Especially that last part.
Gotcha. I am Luke.
My name is Martha.
My name is Patricia.
And we are the grandchildren
of Mary Liza McLeod.
You're right. They use them as studs.
They use
It's
them
like,
as studs.
Let that man over there go over there, and he had 3 houses.
Right.
That he attended to.
Okay.
And part of his job was to, all right, Trisha, get ready now. I'm gonna be coming to see you. That's what it was. But now that's terrible in a way now.
It really
is.
But think about that for a minute.
It doesn't, you know what, in my opinion, the way I see it, because I've always been like this, because I'm still wondering, why is it that everybody else has been reimbursed for whatever they went through or what their ancestors went through? Huh?
Yeah.
But the only ones that has not been given anything or reimbursed for anything is the black people. Why is that?
Because you're black.
Good question.
Exactly.
Because we're black.
Why is that? I can remember all of this stuff, but Mama said he used to walk around with that braid in the back and kept a dagger on his side with a hatchet hanging on the side.
He was in
Grandmama Sarah's father, which was Mama's grandfather. And then when you look at Grandmama Sarah, you can see it in there.
All of
her.
them. And
Mama
Anna.
the same.
And Thomasina.
All of them. They're all had
And Creasy.
Then you come back to
They were all-
then you come back to Grandmama Liza and Granddaddy Fred. Now Granddaddy Fred, we know that he was a mixture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He even had some of his sisters were so mixed. I think one of them married a doctor, and they went to New York.
One of them moved to North Carolina.
Right.
Because Mama kept telling me about it, because people be asking about me and Donnie.
Right.
Hector.
Right.
And Grandpa Fred, we saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, but Granddaddy Fred told me, and I never forgot it. And it was something about that. I don't know why he did it, but it was just the way he did it.
Okay.
He was sitting on the porch, and he called me and said, "Come up here, boy." So I went up on the porch where he was. He said, "I want you to know something." And he began to talk to me. He said, "I want you to know where your people come from." And he told me, he said, "Your people are from Scotland." That's exactly what he told me.
Wow.
And I never forgot it. I said, and then I started looking at different places when you go and you see like a Scotland High School. And they got another place in Bennettsville where it's something where you see Scottish at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. This goes back to what Granddaddy Fred was telling me, that our people come from Scotland. And I'm like, wow, I can't. And then Hector went somewhere, and the name was mentioned. No, he told the person what his name was, Mcleod. And the lady looked at him like a double take.
Right.
And she said, "Do you know that name has royalty to it?" So Hector said, "Well, I didn't know it." He said, "But now I know it. It comes from Scotland."
Wow.
That's
Okay.
where.
Both of them was
Wait a minute.
Hectors.
Yeah.
Because there was 2 Hectors in the family, right?
2 Hectors.
Yeah, and both right. So in other words, what you're saying is there was a Hector in Grandmama Sarah's line in the family, but there was also a Hector in Grandmama Liza's side of the family.
Because they said Heck Briggs. There was a Heck Briggs.
There was a Hex Briggs. That's
Okay,
true.
and Heck Briggs led Asbury Choir.
Okay.
Doing the hymns
The
and
hymns
stuff. To
and
say
the
there was a bad cry.
And
It
I
was
bet
a
they
bad
were.
cry.
I bet they were
Yeah,
too.
yeah, because I saw it in the history book.
Did you see
Right.
it?
I seen that.
Yeah.
And I saw the Hector Mcleod. And I said, I can find out who that Hector
Right.
McLeod
That was. I think that
There's two of
Heck
them.
McLeod was Grandmama Liza's brother, wasn't it?
Was the brother?
Yeah. Yeah. Father, when he came to this country, okay, he had his own grocery store. And he
You've heard
had
that
a
in Blaine.
music store
In Blaine.
inside of it, where he sold musical instruments. That's why Granddaddy Fred could play a banjo so good,
He
a
could play
guitar,
and
he could
sing.
and can sing.
But guess what? He didn't like the gospel songs.
No.
One time we was on the radio and we went to Granddaddy's friend's house and we said, Granddaddy, how did you enjoy our singing? He said, you sounded like a bunch of hoo-owls.
He like them endings. Them,
Yeah,
This is one of the songs. Sing one
I'm
of the
gonna sing
songs
one
he
of his
used to sing.
songs the way he used to sing.
Sit up there and sing it.
I am working on the hillside. I am working by the way. I am working for the master on the golden grain. That's the way your
really
grandfather
did
used to
used to
sing.
sing them
And then when
songs like that.
when he would get ready, he'd sing him. When he wanted to sing him a boogie woogie song, he'd say, "Well, I'm going down in Florida on the hog. Good gal, I'm going down in Florida on the hog. If you never see me again, good gal, remember me." Then he say, "My old gal, she got stuck on the milkshake man. Oh, my old gal, she got stuck on the milkshake man. My old gal, she got stuck on the milkshake man. Now I won't be worried all the time."
Those are the kind of songs
Those were
he
his
sang.
songs, brother, and he could
play
sing
that
them.
thing.
Well, what about Mama Liza and that singing? Do y'all remember the earliest she started getting on y'all about singing?
Lord,
I had to
Jesus.
be about 8 years of age.
Martha, you was younger than that.
I was younger than
Yeah,
that.
we was real young when she started us to sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, if you could go back, Grandma Liza had her children singing.
Yes, she did.
Granddaddy, it was Aunt Ted,
Okay.
Yes.
Uncle Edie.
There you go.
It was
Daddy.
Uncle Matthew.
Yeah.
I don't know about Uncle Tom. He might have been in there too.
Oh, he was in it.
But
because he was
Aunt
just
Mary,
the younger one.
and I don't know about Aunt Megan, but they all used to sing.
Yes,
Every church she went to, they loved
Yes,
to
Yes,
did.
they
They
did.
Now
sure
we
did.
when I got married, we had me and my other sister, Rita Thomas.
Okay.
We had a double wedding. And
Yes.
Grandma Liza's was there.
Yes,
Yes.
she was.
And she sit down and she looked at all of them. She say, "I know you gonna sing me a song." And I had just got married, and I had a whole lot of, yes and stuff. I said, "Grandma Liza shouldn't be asking us to sing no song." Now, and she told me, "Now y'all get out there, and when you get out, I want you to sing."
Yes, she did.
And so we got around and we sang her a song. Yes.
She loved singing.
Yes, she did.
loved singing.
Now, what about it? Back then, man, the people would get on you, but that being raised in that kind of environment,
Yes.
wouldn't you say how much did that help to shape y'all to be who y'all are today? Talk about that.
Everything in me, honey.
Yes.
That hope, that real hope, that made me what I am
Yes,
today.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
From
yes,
all
Lord.
of that, singing, and
Yes,
we would
yes.
have sometime 3 programs a
Yes, Lord.
Sunday.
Yes, Lord.
And that really made me what I am
It
today.
molded and
Yes.
shaped
It
us.
gave us courage.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
By putting us out there
Yes.
and giving us a chance to do something.
Right.
In those days, we didn't hardly do that much.
Right.
There were so many of us children. But Grandma Liza molded and shaped us into gospel singing.
Yes, and you were
She
able
really
to.
did that.
Yeah, you were
And you
able
weren't
to.
afraid when you stepped out there and
That's right.
sing that song.
Yes.
You weren't afraid.
No.
That's
It
right.
just made you feel good on the inside.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
but
And it made her feel
Yeah,
good. And she would
yeah.
get out there
Right.
and do that holy dance while
That's
you were singing.
sure enough.
Yes,
she
she
would.
From her pushing
Yes, she
us.
would.
She
Yes,
really pushed
yes,
She
us.
she
pushed
would
us.
seriously
Yeah.
push. Yes, she
Pushed
would.
us
Really
to
did.
sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sang the gospel.
Yes, she did.
Great. That's fantastic. This is overwhelming.
Now,
more than I
those
thought.
things is what molded
Yeah.
and shaped us.
Yeah.
And what we are
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
And it made you grow
Yes.
in the Lord.
Yeah.
That's what it did.
It really did.
Yeah.
And just kind of say something about the early Asbury back in the day, and you know what the church in Asbury meant, because that's where we was all going back then.
Yeah.
What does that mean,
Yeah.
Lord?
I can remember I was a little child at this time, do how we used to dress up in our pretty little suits and do Easter speaks. We used to do those Easter speaks. And after that, they used to, I remember I had this little bonnet. Don't you remember that little bonnet that we used to wear? These
Yes.
little bonnets. And the good thing was about it, after we finished with the Easter speaks, they used to do the Easter egg hunt.
Yes.
And
Oh,
and who
my
took us there?
word.
Who would be taking us there?
Grandma
Grandma
Liza.
Liza.
Grandma
She would
Liza
be
would
the
take
one.
us
She
to
was
all
the
of
one.
that.
She
I
was
can't
the one
that would
remember
take
nobody
you to
else
all
doing
of
it
those
like
functions.
Grandma Liza.
That's right.
Yes, she would.
She was the one.
And do you remember the baby contest?
Yes.
I do remember
I do.
the baby contest.
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, what it was a fundraiser. That's what it was. It was a fundraiser for them to raise money for the church. So how they would do it is, they would have a prize that would go to the highest. Well, let me put it this way: the person that came in with the most money, they would be the one. I think they had was it a first prize and maybe a second prize, but that's how that's how the baby contest went.
And what did those babies look like? Were they cute babies or ugly babies?
All different kinds. There was some ugly
Oh,
ones
they
in there,
was
now.
cute babies. I remember, I think it was Grandmama. I think Mama had one of her babies in that contest.
she did.
You
Yes, she
remember that?
did, yeah.
And I think, it seemed like Aunt Ted had a baby in that contest.
She
I
had
can
one that
remember
was in it at once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But those were some beautiful times.
Yes, it
Walking
Yes.
to that church
Yes,
Yes.
on Sunday morning was a blessing
Yes,
to
sir.
us.
And you know what?
Walking.
Into Asbury
With no
church,
shoes on.
like people do today.
And then when you get to the church, you'd wipe your feet off.
Yeah.
Right.
And the revival.
That
Yes,
dust.
yes.
Revival.
Oh, the revival. The revival.
Those were awesome.
Good.
Yes, they were. Yes, they
Sure
were.
was. Those revivals they
Those
would have out there.
revivals.
Yes, yes. It was
Yeah,
just beautiful.
Lord,
I mean,
Lord
going back, I mean, when you think about, Asbury and all of those people, the Kennys
Yeah.
and the Bethays and the Wrights, all of those. I mean, you
Yeah.
think about those
Woods
people,
and
the Woods,
All of
yeah,
them. That's right.
Tell you.
all
yes,
of them, yeah,
Yes.
the
They
Finnails and all
they
of
was
them.
a family, but they
Sure.
was mixed. Mama was a Lynch.
Yes,
They was, and Grandma Sarah was from Asbury.
she was
Right.
a brick.
And Grandma Liza was a Mcleod.
Yeah.
Right.
She was from Asbury.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
All of them was from
Was
Asbury.
from Asbury.
They sure enough.
Sure was.
And that choir.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, they
I
used
remember
to
a song
sing,
they
brother.
used to sing. I am thine, O Lord.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
I
yes.
am thine, O Lord.
Yes, Lord.
I have heard that cry, something like that. And it told
Thy
love to me. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Jesus.
yes.
Glory, glory,
And
glory, glory.
is there what is it about a small country church that just it seems like it moves people more than them big fancy churches?
does.
It does.
It really
It
does.
About
Yes,
a
it
small
do.
country.
Yes, it
People
does.
grow more.
And I'm going to say this. You interact with the pastor.
Yes.
The pastor know you by
Know
name.
everybody.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Pastor know you by name.
Yeah.
There you go.
know everybody that's in that church.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And everybody in that church feel like they are kin to
Yes,
you. Well,
sir.
mostly all
Yeah.
of them was
Yes,
kin
sir.
to us
Family.
in Asbury.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Family.
it just was a feeling that you didn't get when you in the Lord's church, because the pastor don't have time to deal with those mega churches, but those small churches, you get to interact with each other.
Yes.
You get to know each other.
But have you heard that old saying?
But I'll say it. I want to say it like this: they ain't no Jesus in. I'm sorry to say it. They ain't no Jesus in those churches, and the mega churches.
Mega churches.
But you can feel the presence of the Lord.
Yes, you can.
When you walk in the little small church. You can feel the presence of the Lord.
Was one of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was. It really was.
But you know what made a lot of the youth grow up to be men and women, and that with character and respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And knowing how to navigate life was because of that raising that come from those old people. Now watch, because this is the way they did it. I said it was an old saying that used to say, it takes a village to raise a child. Am I right? Well, now, that is the way it was when we were coming up. If you went from Grandmama Sarah's or Grandmama Lazarus' house and went to someone else's house, whether they were your family or not, if you done something you had no business doing, they would whip you, take you home, and you would get a second one.
Amen.
That's a village raising children. And when we saw them, whatever we were talking about, it didn't have to be anything that was dirty or nasty, but we would get quiet until that older person, that adult, get out of the way.
If you would go and tell Mama that they spank you, Mama would spank you again. So you know that is the way it's. You can raise a child.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Because it takes a village to raise children. Yes.
And Grandma Liza would sing that song, "Traveling Shoes."
Yes, she would.
That lady could walk in the church.
Lord, yes, sir.
And she would start singing
from the door.
Got on my traveling shoes, and she wouldn't sit down.
No.
She wouldn't sit down.
She would not sit down.
Would stand up singing.
Yes.
On my shoes, Lord.
Yes.
Got on my traveling shoes.
And there was another song she used to sing too. And the people, every church she would go to, they would want her to sing, what is that song? Standing at the stage.
Yes.
Captain to call my name.
Yes.
And boy, they loved to hear her sing this song. My husband still sings it.
No kidding.
Oh, he loved that song.
Wow.
Yes,
I remember one time she had me singing, what was that song that she, and I was very, very young.
Okay.
They just about had to hold me up when I went on the stage.
Right.
And I'm trying to think of the name of that song that I used to sing. There's a man going around taking names.
Yeah.
And she would say, sing that song, sing it.
And she would make she
and I would sing that song.
I tell you.
There's a man going around taking names. But when she would start singing Traveling Shoes, all of us would join her singing. Got on my traveling shoes. You want to sing a little bit of it? And I mean, she was singing. And the folk that was singing with her would be in harmony. Sing a little bit of it, Luke, and we'll help you.
On my shoes, Lord, got on my traveling shoes. On my shoes, Lord, got on my traveling shoes. On my shoes, Lord, got on my traveling shoes. On my shoes, Lord, got on my traveling shoes. I can travel now. Got on my traveling shoes. I can travel now. Got on my traveling shoes. Put your shoes on. Got on my traveling shoes. Put your shoes on. Got on my traveling shoes. Hey, got my shoes on. Got on my traveling shoes. Got my shoes on. Got on my traveling shoes. I can travel now. Got on my traveling shoes. I can travel now. Got on my traveling shoes. Put your shoes on. Got on my traveling shoes. Put your shoes on. Got on my traveling shoes. Put your shoes
travel right.
Yeah, God on my traveling shoes.
I can travel now.
God on my traveling shoes.
I can travel now.
God on my traveling shoes.
I can travel now.
God on my traveling shoes.
Ain't no trouble now.
God on my traveling shoes.
Ain't no trouble.
Oh,
God on my traveling shoes.
On my
God on my traveling shoes.
On my
oh, yeah,
God on my traveling shoes.
I can live.
God on my traveling shoes.
I can live.
Yeah, God on my traveling shoes.
On my shoes, Lord.
God on my traveling shoes.
On my shoes, Lord.
God on my traveling shoes.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
when she do
And then
that,
she will start dancing.
she will start to dance.
Yes,
Hey!
yes,
That's what
Yes,
she
she
would
would.
get her shout
That's
in.
when she say, ain't no trouble now.
God on my traveling shoes.
hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, she would.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
when
Lord.
she get to singing it, boy, she would have to
And
do
she
her
could
dance.
feel it. She could
Oh,
feel
she
it.
would be
She could
feeling
really
it.
feel it.
She would be feeling
I've
it.
never seen folk